So we're going to work on bearish fund. It's got a variety of equity topics, including preferred dividends, common dividends, and total equity. So here we have some information from bearish fund with two amounts missing. And so they want you to use your theoretical understanding of equity in order to solve for those two amounts. And then they want to talk about some dividends. So let's talk about the first question. Dividends were missed last year, but no other year since the business started has been missed. Okay. And now they're going to declare a $75,000 cash dividend. How much will the common shareholders get? Well, they don't get any until the preferred shareholders are satisfied. So we have to pay the preferred dividend first. What is that preferred dividend? We use the secret code here, the 6% times 150 par. So we would multiply that out and get $9 a share. And since it's cumulative, we have to make up any missed years. That's called in arrears. We have to make up any dividends that are in arrears, any missed year or even part of a year, has to be made up before the common shareholders get any. So let's do that math. So let's look at the math. So $9 is the maximum dividend per share. That's the 0.06, the 6% times the 150 par. And that is times the 3,000 shares outstanding. So we always pay dividends to external parties, not to ourselves. And so that's $27,000 per year. And we have to pay last year, the year in arrears, the missed year, and the current year, $27,000, for a total of $54,000, which would satisfy the preferred shareholders' rights to dividends. After that, anything left over goes to common. So the $75,000 minus the $54,000 leaves $21,000 for common. How many common shareholders did we have? There's 150,000 shares outstanding, so they would each get 14 cents. Now, in B, they say, how would that same thing go if it wasn't a cumulative stock? So then the missed year would just be ignored. So let's look at what that math might look like. All right, so still a $9 maximum dividend per share, which was the 6% times par, times the 3,000 shares that are outstanding. So the 27,000 still the number we need. It's just we're not going to do it twice, just for the current year. So then we would take the total dividend declared, the 75,000, subtract that amount due to the preferred shareholders. Now their rights are satisfied, and the rest, the 48,000, can go to common shareholders. And we would spread that across all the outstanding shares, and they would each get 32 cents. All right, now what about total equity? So we know what goes into the preferred stock account must be par times shares issued. It can't be less because that's the legal minimum capital, and anything more than par would go into paid-in capital in excess of par preferred stock, which we don't have any. Same thing for common. We have to put the par, the $1 times shares issued, in that spot. We can't put less because you can't issue it for less. And anything more than the dollar would spill over into the paid-in capital in excess of par account. So let's do that math. So we would take the 3,000 issued times the 150, and that would go there. And then the $1 times the 150, so that's 150,000. That math's pretty easy. And then we would add these four up. There's no treasury stock to remove, so that's not anything we need to work with here. All right, let's do that math. So let's review. So the first spot is the 150 par times the 3,000 shares issued, so we get 450,000. The next spot is the dollar par times 150,000 issued, and then the 2,550,000 and the 2,000,003. Add those four things up, and there is your total equity before the dividend is declared. And then they want to know the average price per share received when common shares were issued. So whatever they got, they had to split into the $1 par and anything above par. So let's see what it was above par. Well, this 2,550,000 is the amount above par. So that divided by the 150,000 will tell you how much above par was, and then you can add par to see what the total amount received was. All right, let's do that math. So if we take that paid-in capital in excess of par and divide it by the 150 shares issued, so that's $17 per share was put in the excess of par account, and we know par is $1, so we would add those two together, and on average they got $18 per share. All right, let me know if you have any questions.